Well, a very good afternoon to you, Nompo, and of course to our SABC viewers. It was on this very podium here that I'm standing behind, where ANC Deputy President Mr. David Mabuza was actually addressing, leaders of, or traditional leaders, I beg your pardon. Of course, they had a very long engagement earlier on this morning. Of course, the program has concluded, but Nompo, traditional leaders are not happy with the ANC. They are not happy with the ANC's conduct. They even threatened to abandon the ANC because they themselves feel abandoned by what they what they call, what they know as was once a glorious movement, basically saying that if the ANC does not attend to their calls, their demands or their cries, they have given the ANC 6 months or they will abandon them. And of course, one of the traditional leaders then saying that this would be quite detrimental for the ANC leading up to the 2024 polls. As you know, that the ANC didn't do so well last year in the 2021 November municipal polls, as they dropped to 46% from about 50-something% in 2016. And of course, we heard the ANC president there, Mr. David Mabuza, pleading, with those traditional leaders not to abandon them, also promising to come back to Polokwane to address and to tend to their needs at a later stage this year. He also spoke much about, self-correcting the movement and uniting the movement. And this comes at a time where, the ANC is somewhat deeply divided, Nompu, saying that it's up to this generation, it's up to these leaders or this crop of leadership of the ANC to actually, self-correct, to thoroughly introspect the movement and to unite. And of course, this year's January 8th statement, Nompu, comes at a very interesting time where it will be 50 years since the first January 8th statement was delivered by then ANC President Oliver Reginald Tambo in 1972. And of course, this is a man who preached unity. This is a man who was lauded, for bringing together, ANC comrades, as some might say. But just also moving to, the Q&A that we actually had outside with Mr. Mabuza before he actually went to Seshego for the Cadres Forum. Nompu, we asked him if the release of the state capture report yesterday, would actually, further fragment and divide the movement. And he had said that nope, it's not true. As the ANC, they will be dealing with these challenges. And of course, that report will not further, divide the ANC. Last year, if you'll remember, Nompu, on the campaign trail when he was in Pretoria, he had indicated that he's fit to, run as DP yet again. As you know, that later on this year, we will be having the ANC's elective conference in December. And he had said that while it's up to the branches to decide whether or not he's coming back as deputy president of the ANC or not. He also spoke about, the strengthening of state institutions, Nompu, saying that these very state institutions are actually responsible for rooting out corruption and they should further be strengthened. But Nompu, this, of course, that this is a build-up to the much anticipated January 8th statement that will be happening on Saturday at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Only 2,000 people actually allowed at the stadium. This is different from last year. We know that last year, throughout the pandemic, Nompu, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa delivered his fourth January 8th statement at the party's headquarters in Johannesburg in Luthuli House. And this time he will be delivering his fifth address at the Peter Mokaba Stadium, a stadium of, quite significance, as we know that the late Peter Mokaba was, a very significant figure within the ANC Youth League, a firebrand leader, as some have, described. And of course, the deputy president will also be having, a program and engagement with the National Youth Task Team, which is tasked to actually, take the ANC Youth League to conference around March this year. They'll be having a program, tomorrow. And of course, there'll be various other programs where ANC, NEC members actually crisscross the province entirely, engaging with structures and ANC members throughout, the province. But of course, as SABC News, we will give you all the latest in regards to this. But as for me and Llewellyn, it's back to you in studio, Nompo.